Welcome back. He is a veteran politician and a much respected man in the political class and the electorate. Globally, he has earned his stripes as the man Oscar Award winner Lupita Nyongo calls father. Kisumu Governor Professor Anyang Nyong'o has earned the reputation of a no-nonsense leader in one of the country's most progressive counties, that is Kisumu County. Despite the power he wields, Professor Anyang Nyong'o tells the story of the woman who shaped who he is today, a woman he describes as a matriarch and the pillar of the Nyongo family, his late mother, Dorcas Nyong'o.
You're entering the homestead where we were all born.
Born 74 years ago in Rata, Kisumu County, Anyang Nyong'o walks through the homestead where he grew up.
As a kid, this room here was my cottage.
Oh, this was your room?
Yeah. And now it is for sheep and goats and so on. You see? The sheep are there, but this was my room. And my cousins, we used to sleep here and tell stories.
His father was a teacher and a member of the clergy.
My father was a clergyman, an archdeacon. So when he died, we put up this museum in memory of him.
His parents were buried here, his mother most recently. He talks of his late mother fondly.
When I come here now and I don't find my mom here, it's rather painful, because we would come in the evening, sit out there in the courtyard there, and talk until it's dark.
Yeah. Mama Dorcas Nyong'o was a pillar of the Nyongo family, leaving behind a legacy of compassion for the less fortunate, especially the girl child.
My mother also committed to making sure that girls who attended a mixed secondary school here, called Rata Secondary School, should have a hostel where they live, so that they don't need to go home and face the hazards of the girl child, you know.
Yeah. This is Mama Dorcas Nyong'o's project.
Are you enjoying staying here?
Yes.
Are you doing well in school?
Yes.
When you finish Form 4, where do you want to go to?
University.
Which university?
UN.
University of Nairobi.
We meet secondary school girls that are housed here. Since the project started in 2011, 26 girls have transitioned to university. Professor Anyang Nyong'o says he will continue with the work his mother started to ensure these children excel.
I was living with my mom at home in Rata and walking to school in Diru, which was about 4 or 5 kilometers away. My other siblings were with my father at the mission in Ngea, so they were more or less borders, because my father's house was within the school for all intents and purposes. So they were very lucky. But although I had this difficulty of having walked to school, the 4 years I spent with my mother alone at home was perhaps the most useful time in my life. She taught me a lot. We related very closely. I developed a lot of views about people, about society. She had time to. She disciplined me for hard work.
He talks of an upbringing that instilled in him the value of education.
Although my mother didn't go into high school, she stopped at what was done sector school. Then she went for adult literacy. She knew a lot. I think she was a very wise person. And I think she was the most influential power in our lives, even in my father's life.
It is no wonder that he would later excel academically and later took teaching positions at the University of Nairobi as a professor of political science and a visiting professor in universities in Mexico and Addis Ababa before joining politics. He speaks of the birth of his daughter Lupita Nyong'o while in Mexico.
She was born in Mexico in March 1983 when we were there So when she was to be named, we call her Lupita, which is a diminutive form of the name Guadalupe. Guadalupe is a kind of a sacred saint for Catholics, particularly in Mexico. So the Day of Guadalupe is a big day in Mexico. But the word Lupita also has a double meaning. It's two words put into one. One, the word Lu, in Luo, which means to follow, and then the word Pita, which is my first name. So we called her Lupita because she's the girl who followed Daddy to Mexico. Yeah, she likes that.
He remembers his days as a thespian and believes his children have embraced the arts after taking after him.
I acted in high school. I acted in college. So acting and drama is something that is part of me. So when my children were growing up and I saw them interested in the arts, particularly Lupita, I encouraged them. I remember we went to Waridi Day Nursery School in Westlands, and it was a Parents' Day, and the teacher said, well, the kids want to perform you what do you call it, a skit. So we waited there, the curtain opened, and they came from backstage in a row, and Lupita was leading them. And they were singing this song, Sisi wanafunzi, sisa wana waridi, waingie uwanja, ebu tingiza kidogo, wazazi waone. And she was there tingizing, and we could not believe it.
Her confidence.
We could not believe her confidence. So after that, we told her, you know, you have a talent.
I asked him if he has a pet name for Lupita.
So we have nicknames for her. And if she had given me permission, I would say so. But I will not, because it's a nickname, it's a pet name, it's a family name.
And whether fame has changed her.
It has, in the sense that being a celebrity, she can't just come home like that. Otherwise, journalists will be all over, and she will not enjoy coming home for a short time to be with the family and friends. So we said, okay, you come in incognito, enjoy yourself, meet your friends, be a baby at home, because she likes that, and then you go back and resume your life. But that also means that we usually take annual holidays and take kids. That's a tradition we have. That also means that sometimes we have to adjust to her schedule, because her schedule is not controlled by her, and organize these holidays in such a way that she can also participate.
His political career dates back to the early 90s. At 74, the politician has worn many caps politically. He has served as Secretary General ODM, as MP Kisumu Rural Constituency, Minister of Medical Services, Senator Kisumu County, and is now the incumbent Governor Kisumu County.
How is the division of revenue bill arrived at? On what basis? Those are stipulated in the Constitution. Secondly, to what extent can the decision of the Commissioner for Revenue Allocation on division of revenue bill, to what extent can it be set aside by any institution in making a decision on division of revenue bill? We want a Supreme Court advisory on that. Thirdly, to what extent can the government go ahead and pass in the National Assembly a budget for the year 2019-2020 without having passed the divisional revenue bills?
It was while serving as Minister of Medical Services that he was diagnosed with cancer in July 2010. He went through treatment in the US and was cured. When he came home, he campaigned for reforms in the health sector so that the less fortunate could access quality health care.
I was lucky that I had prostate cancer, which was treatable, at a stage where it was treatable. What then we got committed to when we formed the Africa Cancer Foundation in July 2011 was that let us make people aware of this disease.
During his campaigns for the governor's seat in Kisumu, his slogan, Tichtire, became popular. This means there is work to be done.
I had put it in my manifesto that we need to revive maritime transport in the lake. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I put it nonetheless. And we started developing having what we call the Lakefront Development Initiative, with the help of Habitat, opening up the lakefront for leisure, for tourism, for eateries and so on, for light goods shops and all that. That would be very good, but with a port that is not revived, it is limited because we will not be getting a lot of tourism on the lake, both for commercial and leisure purposes.
2 years down the line as governor, I ask him, is work being done in Kisumu County?
Our aim is that after 5 years, every household should have clean and fresh water, supplied by various methods. Either we have piped water from a source, or borehole water, or rain catchment water, depending on the situation. Secondly, we have recently chosen as a pilot country for universal healthcare, and that's really helping. We are having people from Vihiga, from Busia, from South Nyanza, even from Kericho, coming to seek health service from here. And that shows you that work is being done and is actually being even beneficial to our neighbors. Another thing you can see in the city, there's a lot of infrastructural development going on. We were given in 2012 a grant from the Kenyan government where they received a loan from the French government called Kisumu Urban Project. It had been lying dormant until I came in. That is 4.5 billion Kenyan shillings. Now, since I came in, a lot of projects have been completed.
So what next for him?
After I finished my term as governor, 5 or 10 years as case may be, I will not be in politics. Let me make that very clear. I'll go back to the university.
Away from work, this is how he unwinds.
I go to the gym, go to church, of course, on Sundays. But of late, I'm learning to play the guitar at the Cultural Center in Nairobi. My teacher, John, is fantastic. He's really nice. He's really encouraging me. Because I've always wanted to learn how to play the guitar, but finally I decided. So I bought a guitar and I go there once or twice a week.
He is a husband, a father, a professor, and a man that has been in the news and made news as an opinion shaper and leader for decades.